Maybe take the last shot if they can. So here it goes, up high, over to the nest, and you know the rest.
What a save there by .com.
As a pass, 8 seconds, and in a hot second.
Mr. Napro coming away with it, sending it right back. Nice triangular passing and having the opportunity. Mr. Napro coming through.
It didn't take him long to get there. This team is fast.
And they're going to lose it again off that head button. You see how they recover. Absolutely incredible. Able to force Ignite to lose possession and then quickly reorient themselves and retrieve it. And then just Jaywalker sending a rocket.
They're pushing the bubble here, but no, he finds his teammate cutting in and does get saved though by Copenhagen. He's going to make that clear.
Yeah, Copen making it happen. As another clear is going to be just taken out though by the intercept, but Noah Steele flying through and flying hot on the shot. It's a 3-point goal for Copenhagen.
Oh my God! Setting that one in.
Rocket will come away with possession. I didn't even see that happen, so he's going to send it up to the ceiling, and they're going to have that angle, and they're going to have 3 points, so sealable bag, they're going to tie it up.
Hey everybody, welcome back to VR Master League as we get started here today. Again, restarted I suppose, on our streams for the nights. We've got 3 of them in a row for you on this channel here. In week 6 of season 2, we're starting off, as you can see, with Hydro versus Zero. And oh no, this is going to be a doozy. We'll see a lot of familiar faces coming on in, and faces we've seen very, very recently on stream. In fact, just my days aren't too mixed up. Just saw Zero yesterday, I think. And for Hydro, also stream regulars here. Always fun to see them. So pinging the teams right now, and gonna get underway. After this match, we'll also have another one following up with, let's see, was Gold Diggers versus Misfits. So that's gonna be a fun one for sure. And then at the top of the next hour, so now 58 minutes from now, we've got Wireless Jacks and King Gorillas. So as these teams warm up with some dances a little bit by the nest and just hit the buttons, well, we're ready to begin just about. But to the Twitch chat, thank you for joining once again throughout the day. I've already had a handful of streams, both for Europe earlier in the day. Had a couple of those matches, Vertigo and Team Gravity. Pretty exciting one, really exciting one. In fact, came down to a game-winning shot at the end of one of the rounds, but I won't totally spoil it for you guys if you haven't seen yet. Yeah, had Quackheads and Hellbent there. We had a few other matches earlier here in North America. Of course, they had the casting debut of Adam Arfly and just the last match from about an hour ago. So a lot of good stuff. But yeah, right now, we got ourselves Hydro on orange, we got ourselves Zero on blue, and you got me in the booth, Palidore, with so much for subtlety on the camera work. So making it work and starting on this first joust will be taken by Soisi for at least a moment, but now right back from Zenith. You might notice there on the overlays for the first joust, neutral joust, you got the stats, as right now getting some stats. It's Sneaky Evil scooping on in for the 2-point hits.
Thank you.
But yeah, neutral joust now. You'll recognize maybe right below the team names, the team who wins the joust. You'll see their joust timings and their joust speed. And that, of course, is courtesy once more to Ignite for helping add that to the stream and just step by step, you know, adding more cool features to it. So really glad to have that for you there. By the way, something else I'm really glad for is 5-Spotted Dog, 8 months now, Tier 1. Thank you so much in the clutch. As always, support is always much appreciated. Voodoo right now, not being supported by too much, just have to get rid of the disc. I mean, has his teammates there, easy does it. Holding the disc a little bit long, just trying to figure out what he wanted to do, and resulting in Rox Titan getting a 2 from that backboard area. So the passing play, as we mentioned in the past games, it's always a huge factor when it comes to Zero. They are fast with it, but they are accurate, at least most of the time. They've had some incredible plays, for sure. When it comes to the side of Hydro here, now they are, as you might notice, down a Saluna this time. You know, the roster changes happening, as it typically does throughout the season, but you know, the rest of this team just as well. They have shown over and over again to be powerhouses on offense and steez machines, if nothing else. So grab some tissues, but causing a lot of teams issues with all that hot dogging. But you know what? Sometimes, as we mentioned, steez it can be effective as well. It can be with a purpose. And you know, this team just does a good job, both of these teams actually at times, doing a good job of throwing in the flare along with just the efficiency. Now Hecken taking the disc and going for a clear. Into the midfield, it'll be taken out by Zenith. Zenith going to the bottom of the floor. Gonna bounce out a bit too far to the right, but you can see the stack immediately whirling around, but actually losing out on the disc there was Sneaky. So back to the intercept. Zenith gets it back here and sends it to Sneaky on the side. Now Sneaky will back it out even further just to reset their team. You can see Sneaky now directing traffic, kind of a player coach, just to make sure everyone is spaced out correctly before they dive in for the cross pass, but cut off. You can see what they were going for. That was a great maneuver, but even better there from Hydro, diving out to collect the disc and cause some havoc the way of Zero. And speaking of the Saluna, cheering on Saluna with his Hydro and Zero. So nice to see Saluna in the chat, as well as Crimson and Haxor, well, don't hax me. See, Dox Fox, don't dox me. Right now, trying to get some points locked in for Antgas and Hydro. So up high it goes to Tony. Tony back to the boots. And one more pass, a bit too strong, unfortunately. But again, good ideas. Just the execution slightly off on that. So a intercept here by Rox Titan. Right by that nest will get the boosted players right back for 0. A slight overshoot. So it gives them just enough time for Hydro, that is, to get back into the goal, at least to defend it. But, you know, I think that's okay with a 0 here. You can see backing it out a couple times. That said, losing it, but getting it right back. Sneaky the great hands and some light jukes and waiting for his teammates to join him up front. And just, again, good concentration here. Trying not to force too much too fast if they can. Now this pass here is sent over to Rox, or to Zenith rather. Zenith going for the fake, and oh, the save, it looks like they're getting it right out of that top corner. Now one more attempt going up, and again, rolling out. So holding strong is Hydro, but can't give him a third attempt here because that one almost went in. The fourth, if I'm a betting man, I'm glad I didn't bet on it. That's out of here. I can't even believe that Hydro just held them off for that many attempts. A lot of misses, and you know what? It's going to be a chance here for Hydro to maybe get on the scoreboard if they can play this right. Now Tony going way across on the deep pass, but going to be cut off immediately is Antgas. Still though, Soisy a try, but now both of these teams missing some attempts at the goal. So a stalemate. See how long this one lasts. It's not quite often you see it get this scrambled and that many attempts unsuccessful. That said, another denial from Rox Titan. So the defense now coming through for 0, and tap out it goes. You can see the immediate boost, but no regrabs missing out, so that allows Hydro to get right back on their stacks first into the bubble. Now a clear, maybe a little bit rushed, will result in the overturn to Sneaky. And Sneaky gets it back, and is going to be contested there, but finding Zenith on the other end. So now these teams need to breathe. I need to breathe, because that was a lot of really frantic play. My goodness. Okay, and we're back. So Zenith with the disc, and this is what they need to do. You can see it got a little bit scrambled. So, you know, you calm it down. You back it out. You breathe. And now, look, you got some spacing. You got a chance at a good goal opportunity. There it is, the pass, but the finish again, slightly off. So just trying to warm up into the offense. I mean, the passes were good there. The positioning was great. But the finishes for players on both these teams right now just not happening. So one more, but another non-score. Will still stay here for Rox Titan. Another pass here. At this point, it's going to be saved out again, but snagged back by Zenith, missing it one more time. I'm not even sure what to say beyond the fact that this is the most chaotic series of plays I think I've seen in a good while. So many near goal attempts and so many unsuccessful conversions. Extremely nuts, as Boozy is pointing out in the chat. So at this point, maybe you need to take a page out of Sealable Bag's book and just go for a sealable slam. Get some alley-oops going. Something super close range, because at the moment, everything else is just not going the way of either team. So here it goes. It will be Rox Titan with Sneaky in the back line. And we've seen this a couple times, more than a couple times. You know, spreading the floor now into that rectangle, working it in from the back, and going up to the bubble. And, you know, will the results be different? That is the question. But really looking for their angles and holding strong here is Hydro. I mean, through all of these multiple attempts, it's going to be snagged out now from Antgas. But immediately on the boost, there's Sneaky and Zenith. You can see they wasted no time at all. Likewise here for Hydro, but it will still be a turnover. Now the goal is open, but the pass is off. So a missed chance there, maybe a open shot. So it will be instead another clear going to the opposite side. And once more, 0 is there first, but the overshoot, so will this buy them something? Let's see. Oh, nice duel by Tony, actually, right there with Zenith. Won that one out. Now has one cutter, has two cutter, is about to be cut off, so needs to be careful crabbing around. And oh, juking him out of the shoes, and now letting it loose for the 2. Finally, Hydro scoring 6 minutes into that entire series of plays since the last joust we saw. Wow. So, oh wait, 2-point lead. I have no idea what to say though in terms of what team has the advantage here. Obviously 2 points for 0, but on the advantage. But I mean, in terms of the rhythm, this has been such an off-kilter start to this game. We'll see. That's a nice delivery, actually, right to Zenith Voodoo. And that's what he do. It's funny how that works, right? For those who watch these streams, a lot of the time you'll hear me say, you'll have these long scoring droughts from time to time, and then once the first goal is scored, the next one, the next goal happens a lot quicker. Well, it happened right there. Sometimes you just need to see it go in once, and that's enough for teams to kind of regather their senses and get back on the offenses. As they take it right here, Zenith. Now over to Rox Titan in the mid-tunnel, mid-area. Floating on through, trying for a bouncer. Now there's 4 players all retreating into the bubble, so they will get there just in time to sling it backwards on that clear. That was a pretty nice one, considering there was no eyesight available. Now Voodoo taking that out of the way. We'll have that boosted Tony there just to pressure. But now right back out to Voodoo. They have the control. Less than a minute left. They have the 4-point advantage. So definitely not the, I suppose, the expected scoring output in this game between either of these teams. Knowing how strong both these teams are on offense, you would have expected this one to maybe be, you know, something like 15-10 instead of 6-2 or what have you. Like, you would expect these teams to be in the double digits by this point. But no, it is just a lower scoring game, and it's a battle of attrition. But you know what? Voodoo put himself on the mission to claim this round with perhaps some ice there indeed. 8-2, round 1 going the way of 0. Very hard fought, and yeah, had to earn it because that was definitely not easy. So now with that final seconds winding down, I'm super curious just to see how round 2 is. Because you would almost not expect this kind of pace to continue, right? Where you don't have a lot of the scores and those near misses. And frankly, okay, so a lot of those too, some of them were unforced, some of them were just also great cutoffs. I mean, the dive defense was pretty good as well, but you know, if I were, I said this earlier, I'll say it again. If I were a betting man, how hard did I caster's curse it? Remember when I first said that 8 minutes ago now? I was saying, well, don't give Hydra, or don't give Zero a chance, a 3rd chance or a 4th chance to score it, because if I was a betting man, they will. Well, then both teams proceeded to not score for 6 minutes. So, yep. Nonetheless, if I were a betting man for round 2, I would say we're going to get a higher scoring game. Tentatively, I will say that. And hey, look at that, our cameraman. So much for subtlety, subscribing with Twitch Prime. Excited by that first round and enough to entice this sub. 6 months in the clutch. Thank you, Subtlety. I was waiting for him to say you're welcome, but he didn't. Still waiting. Oh, anyway. Hey, it's Doxbox TV. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime in the clutch. You rock. And then you say, no problem, right? No, I'm being left to hang here. No, that's all right. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Appreciate all the support again from Subtlety. So much for Subtlety, our cameraman here as well. Docs, Fox TV, and of course, 5-Soda Dog. Great of you guys to continue supporting VRML in the community. It's always appreciated. Very, very much. Right here on the touch. No, it's Antgas losing it out. And that's going to be a side lane clear as it bounces back. Now back into the orange zone. There's a couple boosted players here. Sneaky Evil grabbing the disc. Gonna be assaulted by a plethora of defenders. Shot there slightly off the mark, a bit strong coming off, and now a windmill of a sling clear going into the blue zone. But Zenith is still there to recover for the moment. Has Rox right by his side, and at the flank there, a couple players from the orange team, from Hydro here, trying to pressure. Moving up to the bubble though, and another narrowly missed pass will be collected by Tony. So right back into the clear again. And now as I say that, Doxbox TV gifting 2 tier 1 subs to the VRML community. Well, double thank you, triple thank you in fact, for that. Really nice of you to do. Don't have to, but you know what? It's always appreciated. It's amazing. Over here though, guns blazing. Voodoo gets the goal. And that one was for you, Doxfox. Hey, Dox dropped it. 11-10. Bard and Crab also in the chat, stopping by. with the highlighted message. Uh-oh. Okay, DocsFox, you're getting a little ridiculous here. Hold on now. 5 Tier 1 community subs, and, well, at least the door hype train is alive. Thank you so much again. Over and over. That is immense and amazing from you. Super appreciated at the moment here. This score is for you again, Soisy. That is as Soisy as the subs. A Soisy sub. Now that sounds delicious. $5 foot long. All right. But this game still has a long way to go. 8 minutes left, 2 apiece. And at the very least, we got some scores here in the first couple minutes. So I am optimistic about how this round is going to go. Higher scoring indeed. We'll see, though. All right, so taken out by Antgas off that joust, but right back to Rox Titan. He's going to get the pass over, the reception over as Sneaky Evil at the tunnel. Now Sneaky working it up the floor here. The defense there, the stack, Soisy and Tony doing some damage, but actually getting broken up. So this might be the advantage of Zero. Let's see. Two-man game being ran and up and under. Rox Titan just gently underhanding it in. Not to be mistaken for an underhanded tactic, because that was right on. 4-2, favoring Zero. See Mr. Nate Bro, an original in there, minimum wage Matt, and it's Phoenix with some poggers and stopping by. Welcome to the chat. And again, DocsFox, you Docs rocks. Not Titan, but you know, you rock. That is to say. But no more, because I don't know how to react to anymore. Over here, though, on the pass, it'll be Voodoo25 getting the disc, and Sneaky Evil walking it up now, or actually just breaking it and waiting for the defense to approach. So trying to bait out some defenders, maybe. That's going to be taken here by Voodoo. Voodoo to the side, and very nice play. Nice and efficient, in fact. So one player there, Rox Titan breaking loose just enough to get the stuff. Crimson asking, hey Pally, what's Twitch Prime? That's just the... that's what DocsFox TV just did right there. Another Tier 1 sub. This time to the Gunslinger. And thanks. This is the point where I get awkward, because I said thanks so much. I don't know how to respond. Too much kindness in one stream. Thank you. Thank you very much. And minimum wage Matt answering the question on what Twitch Prime is there. Basically just a way to support the channel, the casters and such. All community effort, volunteer, and the subs and bits and all that stuff each season goes to the casters, casting crew directly, based on the matches, how many matches they've casted and so on. So yep, it's a good way to support your casting crew, as right now trying to get another 2, but no, it's just a couple players, 3 players back for Zero. Immediately, you can see how fast they are. I mentioned this in the streams earlier today even, just seeing, you know, in Team Gravity and Vertigo, for instance, and Blackheads and Hellbent, how these high-level teams, you'll notice such an important thing they do is the moment that disc is lost, they're not wasting time just watching the disc go by all too often. There's always a stack preparing or already prepared, just like that one was. You see that backline stack. They were prepared to immediately boost after that clear, and they got the 3-point hit as a result, a direct result. See, now I like it. I like it when the caster's curse reverses and something happens just as I'm speaking about it, just like that. But for newer players, newer teams, that is a big thing you could prioritize, is do not be caught watching the disc once it's gone. You can always turn around, keep the actions per minute up, look for a boost with a teammate, look for a leech off an enemy, look for a punch, look for something. You know, you're always doing something purposeful every moment of your time. And that's what Zero and Hydro have been doing so very well, but Zero especially here to their advantage. I mean, they're just very well prepared with the speed on a lot of these plays. There it is again, the shot, however, not the same results. So up high, a pass over and winding it through Zenith. Now they're starting to find their groove. They're up 11-2. And minimum wage Matt saying, Pally, it wasn't alley-oop for you to convince people to sub. Oh, what? Your comment up there, your copy pasta. Too long, I couldn't even read it. But I don't know. I don't like. See, whenever I was playing Echo, I was the one dishing alley-oops. Usually, I wasn't the one scoring off of it, so I'm not used to people assisting me. Although I appreciate it. But yes. Support is always very, very nice. I just don't know how to respond when it's so much sometimes. I'm an awkward person sometimes, okay? You know? I hold it together when I'm prepared, but then when people catch me off guard with a bunch of subs like that, I don't know what to do with my hands or my voice. Nonetheless, Sneaky Evil, he knows what to do with the disc, at least I hope. Walking up the floor, looking and eyeing down all the offenders as they take their place. A soft pass over, a little too high, however. Miscommunication perhaps at that, but either or, backing it out to Rocks Titan at the bow tie. And looking for another pass to the shoulder. So once, twice, but saved out. Very nice. Heckin. He's checking and getting the deflections as it goes right back into the midfield. He stacks the leeches. And it's back again. Doing this forever. The speed is just immense right now. So 3 minutes left in this round. And perhaps in this game, unless we get a very late run from Hydro. That very low scoring first round turning into a higher scoring second. And in a hot second, it's Sneaky Evil. A hot shot. 13-2 favoring Blue. Here's the say 0. Mr. Cuckoo Head saying Docs Fox gave subs because what he said before was wrong. Uh-oh. Was there an actual reason? Was there a reason beyond the match and the casting that he subbed? Was this a bet? Well, suddenly, my whole point of view has changed. No, just kidding. All right, well, I may have missed it, as is often the case, you know, with fast and frantic games like this one. Hard to keep up sometimes with you guys. Right now, keeping up with the disc and Zenith backing it out gently, knowing that Voodoo is way back there at their own nest, able to collect it without a hitch. That said, the next attempt over here to Rocks Titan, trying to go for the side and hit the stack. A lot of speed, so just trying to line it up there, maybe. Of course, you can make up for a lot of missed passes and things like that just with the speed, which is why we always encourage, and I always say it's important to look for your boost, because even if your passes are off or your clears are kind of bad, as long as you got the fast boost, you can make it up. And there is a nice 2 provided by Voodoo to Sneaky Evil. 15 points now. And we approach this last minute and 36 seconds of gameplay. Will be 0, taking it over Hydro. And you know, much more normal score for 0, I would say, in that round. I just needed to get warmed up, as is sometimes the case, and definitely they're feeling the heat. Hydro here unable to extinguish it, as Zenith very distinguished on the offensive end today. Zenith now claiming some more points, but really everyone on 0 for that matter has just been piling on the assist and the points with some great efficiency for these last 10 minutes now. So good for them to kind of see that go through. See Wolverine also in the chat there. Welcome, welcome. And last minute of play, 45 seconds at that. Of course, we got some more matches for you back to back to back. So right after this is over, we'll give you a read of the stats, but stay tuned because we have some more games coming through pretty soon. Next one out will be Gold Diggers and Misfits. So be on the lookout for that. 2 talented teams here, new to the league, but definitely very well versed in Echo, as Zenith very well versed in the spin shots, or the windmill shots rather there. Using his full extension on all of his offensive plays, it seems. Doing well at it. Minimum wage Matt there saying Hydro defense was bonkers first round. Yeah, like I said, very good dive defense being shown from them. The thing is, even when you play because some of the shots from 0 in the first round were misses that were kind of unforced, a few of them were, but as I point out a lot of the time, lots of that is caused because of good aggression on the defensive end prior. So, you know, if one team makes the other team work really hard on offense, you know, they're really good defenders, they're really aggressive, and they make them take so many attempts, that forces teams sometimes the easy shots to actually miss, because now the next time they get the passes, the next time they get the disc, they're actually thinking too hard about the defense from earlier, you know? So making teams work hard will actually force even quote-unquote easy ones to miss at times. You see that a lot from talented defensive teams. But anywho, reading off the stats right here, we have, let's see, a couple minutes to spare, so not too much of a rush then. Got 0 taking the win with the 6 points for Rocks Titan, 3 assists, 2 saves, 2 seals, 35 stuns. Sneaky Evil with 6 points, 2 assists, 11 stuns there as well. and Voodoo with the 7 points, 5 assists, 1 save, and 16 stuns. And then Zenith with 8 points, 1 assist, 2 steals, and 32 stuns. Rox Titan piling on, I think, the most stats overall, it would seem, but I mean, it's hard to really say because, again, the team play was so good. It wasn't as if one player was just carrying it. It was just everyone found each other on the passes, which is why you see so many assists on that board. In fact, they got all of the assists in this game, 100% of them. The couple goals there coming in from Hydro, not the same results. And, you know, Zenith, or Zero, that's kind of what they've really started to establish themselves as being known for, is just very, very heavy on the assists. And when it's working, it's one of the best looking things you will see. You know, passing game at the high level is so beautiful and entertaining to watch. Now, for Hydro's side, it was Antgas with a steal and 14 stuns. Hecken coming in with a save and 8 stuns. Soisi, 2 points, 3 saves, 22 stuns. And then Tony with 2 points, 3 saves, 2 steals, and 36 stuns. So putting up some nice numbers there as well. But yeah, Zero ultimately coming away with a win and a very successful week for them. You can see Hydro with that 7-3 record, now going to go to a 7-4. Zero, they'll go to 4-5. But as I mentioned in the stream a day or two ago, kind of misleading record in the sense because their competition for those first couple weeks, I mean, I'm talking losses to, you know, your Kangs, Jokers, and Instincts, which are 3 teams that will, you know, just beat any team on any given day, essentially. So Zero definitely happy to continue evening out their record here, and no doubt they're going to be high up there in the Master Division for the remainder of the season. So that said, we're going to divert to the next match starting in a couple minutes. Once again, it's going to be Gold Diggers versus Misfits. So stay tuned and we will be RB. All right, hey guys, welcome back. Told you it wouldn't be too terribly long, so we are back here with two talented teams in Misfits and Gold Diggers. That's right. So two of these teams continually making a name for themselves as extremely talented rookie teams, and just been impressing. As I mentioned earlier as well, I mean these are the teams of the not too distant future, really making themselves known. I mean, already here in the Gold Division and with still a large ceiling ahead of them. So very interested in seeing the matchup from both of these guys and just the continued progression. You know, over on the side of Misfits, they're running at full roster of Diamond, Cade Plemons, Dark Arrow, Jack G, Widow Girl, and Death Toller. And for Gold Diggers, just the same. 6-man roster, 6-person roster. Klex, Curly Fries, Prometheus, Deku, JT Graham, not JT Graham. Not to be confused surely with JL, right? That's just a coincidence, I assume. And Ender Chicken. So both these teams kind of utilizing that full roster. What are the other interesting things I talked about recently in streams? I'm just super curious on if that's going to be more of a factor over time. Obviously, with VRML, they only got the 4v4 formats coming in with VRML back in November, essentially. So it's still kind of a new thing, and now having the 6-player rosters. I'm kind of curious if we do see those in the future, you know, teams using more hot swaps between their rosters. I have seen a lot of these rookie teams actually do just that compared to some of the more experienced teams in the league who are more used to kind of the condensed rosters, or at least, you know, the main rosters, where for a lot of these rookie teams, I've seen them use it to some success. So kind of a factor there that I'm always curious about, but nonetheless, we're going to start off on this match, and we'll be, again, on the orange side, Misfits, Gold Diggers on blue, and trying out this first joust to get something going. You guys might have noticed on this match, or maybe even the last one there, the new stat overlay there, which is to say on the joust, the neutral joust, you'll see right below the team names how fast the team was that got the disc, how fast their joust was, how much time it took them to grab it, and thanks to Ignite and Franz, you know, for working hard and continuing to give us some cool little goodies there on the streams. Dark Arrow here trying to deliver something over to the sidewall. It's going to bounce right past the hands of both his teammates, however, so nabbing it is Prometheus and sending it through to the bottom trench of orange side. Now in a hot second, there's a bunch of stacks coming through. There's one, there's two, but not the 2-point goal. A rebound, though, will go. So that's going to be taken and made. I believe that was Deku, Grey Gazelle, nearly getting a save, but just right on the edge of that goal will still work its way in, unfortunately for them. Now off to the Twitch chat once more. Thank you guys for joining us again. I see Newton in there a little earlier. Wells are the best. Of course, DocsFox TV with the craziness on the subbing end of things, the Prime subs, tier 1 at that. Steel Skydiver 20 saying, Palidore, what's up, son? Going in for another one that is a steal. It's Jack G with the clear right through the tunnel. Very nicely, in fact. However, the boost not quite as fast, so it really enables a lot of time for the Gold Diggers players to just get their stacks and get it going. Now Jack being stunned, Klex taking the disc and checking for an avenue. It's going to bounce a few different times now to the bottom of the wedge and taken here by Curly Fries. Curly Fries, the perfect pass, well placed, getting stuck on the train, and insane again off the brain of Dark Arrow this time. So 2 goals in a row going off the bodies of some of these Misfit players, and that's a tough way to start it out for sure. Especially that last one. That last one was just right off of the noggin, it looked like. But nonetheless, Misfits back on the offensive joust. And if you took a look at the score sheet at this point, I mean, you would see no points for Gold Diggers, but we know that's not too true. We'll see if they can get themselves another 2. But Widow Girl will sling it and right into the tunnel. There's some interference being ran by 2 players for Misfits. And Gold Diggers are going to try and collect this at mid, looking for those short-range boosts, and they get those with some success as Deku takes it back and hands it over to Curly Fries. Now Prometheus passing to Klex. Some really good pass work here, but some save at work there from Grey Gazelle. Now, that rings a bell. And I didn't just say that because it rhymed, but you know, sometimes on these streams, I mention it a lot. I'll say a player's name once, and then I'll remember, oh yeah, last time on the cast, I said this name a lot for doing that thing. That was the case with Grey Gazelle, unless I'm mistaken, which I don't think I am. Grey Gazelle, definitely very, very capable hands there in the goal. So rolling on in, it's Dark Arrow with a shot, and finding their first 2 points here, about 4 minutes into round 1 for Misfits. So some good passing. And as I said, that's been a thing of beauty to watch at these among these teams. Just really putting that team chemistry together. You can see it not only appearing when they're stacking and getting those chains, but you can also see it just in the passing game. You can see it all over the floor on the positioning, spreading out here. You can see right there the 3 different cutters. That said, being cut out by Deku, or Deku getting cut off rather by Jack. And from that back line, now the stack's coming in from Gold Diggers and able to get the disc. It collects back though to the intercept. Dark Arrow with the disc again. Now Dark Arrow had just scored on that last play, trying to find a couple more to make it a tie. We'll see if that is meant to be or not, however, as that does fly by into the waiting hands of Dark Arrow again. Now Dark Arrow to the shoulder, some defense all in the way, doesn't matter. Clear the way for Jack G. Jack G does tie it up. There were 2 defenders right there with him at the shoulder, but just kind of brushed off the shoulder in that sense, and still found the goal right through the defense. Some nice drive, and keeps their team right back, right in it here, halfway through this round. Now, for those checking in right now or later, we also got, hold on, another shot is what we've got. It's Misfits. Jack G, twice in a row now. That was a nice hit. 7-4 in the blink of an eye. Now they're in the lead for Misfits after being down by a couple. So great turnaround. Now, that being said, as I was mentioning, we also have Wireless Jacks and Kangarillas going to be on this channel right after this one. So do stay tuned for that. As we go to the mid lane here, it's Prometheus. Looking for something, but unable to get it. Instead, collects, just gets stunned. And we'll be taken over there on the corner with a little bit of time. Not time enough because Prometheus just hands it off there. Bottom of the boots and finally gets the, it's 6 points for the side of Gold Diggers. They bring it right back to a 1-point game. And seeing if they can make a run similar to what Misfits did just moments ago. Come back with a few goals of their own. Shout out as well to Wolverine in the chat, stopping by. No, wait, did I shout you out earlier? See, I'm terrible. I'm like forgetting names left and right. I don't know. I mean, if you get shouted out twice, I guess it's just double the nice, right? Over there, though, Curly Fries is looking for a clear. It's going to be Deku retaining that. And now snagging it back was Jack, but getting lost in some pile-ups. A lot of players really converging on the same spot, so making it tough to really get some forward momentum going. Those 50-50 kind of gamble plays, as we like to refer to those pile-ups oftentimes. But Curly Fries does get the disc here. Now there's some defenders at the flank, so had to get rid of it, and into the mid lane it will go. Super impressed by the boost here from Gold Diggers across the floor. Doesn't matter if it's offense or defense. Look at that. They've got the double stacks, and they're getting them done with efficiency. So a super impressive speed. Now that's a speedy pass going to be handed off, and now taken out by Jack. So Jack, yet again, he's had at least a couple of those nice snags just right out of the hands of the defense, or of the offense rather. And now collecting the disc right back again. Off balance a bit here, needs to be careful, gonna be stunned. Dark Arrow there, swooping in for the recovery, saving the day like a hero. Like the Green Arrow, in fact, as they go now for another grab, it's Jack. So Jack up to the backboard, and the shot taken out there, collects with the clutch. And sends it out there with another. Look at that. The speed, yet again. Unfortunately, the overshoot, wasting a little bit of extra time, but still getting back with some efficiency. There's the pass. They have it to the barrier. Softly over, but just cut a little bit too mistimed, it looked like. So that is a unfortunate giveaway because now Dark Arrow gets a clear. Now, if his teammates here from Misfits can gather their stacks with that same kind of degree of just immediacy that we're seeing from Gold Diggers, and they will be able to capitalize on some of these clears. Yeah, Lulz is the best pointing out there. Speed isn't always a winner with regrabbing. Absolutely, it's speed plus accuracy. And the higher and higher you go on the ladder system into the divisions and see the master tier teams, I mean, you'll see them. If they miss one time, they miss one disc because of an overshoot, they will be punished a pretty high percentage of the time with a goal on the other end. That's just how it works out. So you definitely got to be careful. There's a rhythm that goes with chaining together, with stacking together. It's not just about all kinds of frantic, immediate grab, 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 grab. It's a lot of, on beat, just, grab, 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 grab. And it's very much a rhythm to it to help enable you really catch up to those discs, and especially ones that take awkward bounces. If you have a nice rhythm to your pulls, you're going to be the beneficiary of a lot more grabs and a lot less overshoots, which means a lot more goals at the end of the day. And yeah, for goal diggers, I'm sure that's something that they want to always dig for, if I'm not mistaken. So that said, they're trying to dig for some more here. There's 6 points on the board, maybe make it 8. And right through again. This is the third time in this round we've had a near save being credited to the other team, but it's going to be points nonetheless to Gold Diggers. They're up by 1 point with 30 seconds left. Very nice passing play. Now Misfits, they've got a chance to be in this. Take a game winner. Wouldn't be the first that we've seen today, in fact, at the clutch. So let's see, a bounce going to be had up here at the sky, but right past the cloud. At just that smallest margins of error there, and it's going to be cleared into the other lane. Not much time, especially with this recovery. 5 seconds left, and it looks like indeed Gold Diggers about to claim round 1 by 1. Very close game. Very, very close. So excited for the second round about to unfold, but Gold Diggers coming on through. Did not give up. See, Waffle Broth also in the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Any name with waffle in it, much like any name with tickle or britches in it. Any name with waffle in it makes me happy, makes me smile. I like it. There's just a simple sense of satisfaction from putting 2 random words together that make me giggle inside. I think about it every day, believe me. See JT Graham there cheering on his team over on Gold Diggers. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, you can see the score sheet there. Super contested, super close. It was. Now, see, the hard part is, again, you look at the scoreboard and you say, well, Deku scored the only 2 points for Gold Diggers. That's because 3 of the shots from Gold Diggers went off of one of the opponents there on Misfits, the goalkeeper. One of them bounced off the head. The other couple were grabbed at the last second. So that's why the score sheet looks as it is, because it was a Misfits player who kind of got credit for the goal, but of course it was an own goal, so therefore the score. But nonetheless, some good moves being shown, none more timely and better than that last passing play that put them ahead with about 30 or 40 seconds left. Just beautiful cross and the eventual game winner there for Deku. So it was nice. It was nice. On the side of Misfits, you can see the 5 points for Jack G and a couple for Dark Arrow there. 3 saves as well for both Grey Gazelle and Jack G. And Widow Girl with a save and 12 stuns. So piling on some of the defensive hands there. And just clamping down on that end. You can see they're also winning out on the stun department. 61% of the stuns going the way of Misfits. As well as the saves for that matter. So yeah, the defense, very nice. Just was just enough from Gold Diggers to still win by 1. Now we do have a restart of some sort happening, a between round timeout. So on that note, remember it does not count towards the tech timeout if you take it between rounds. Either team can opt for the 5 minutes, and that's completely fine. Now I'm being informed that there is maybe a ping issue here, so if that is the case, might have to get mod, or let's see. Yeah, right now, so there is some rough ping going on Misfits side, it looks like. You have one player Gray Gazelle there kind of spiking a bit. So kind of at their discretion. If they want to enforce the rule, what they do is they go look for a sub. If you're doing a ping sub for ping reasons, you can go and take up to 15 minutes to find a league substitute. It looks like they both just readied up now, though, so apparently we're starting. But yes, if they do want to enforce the ping rule because of sustained average ping, of 150 or more, they definitely are within their rights to do that. But at the moment, the 2 is just going to be released. Actually, a mishandle as it will be taken out by Deku with the disc, trying to maneuver through all the cluttered up defense. But Jack G getting it clear instead will actually sail right back to him, it looks like. So back to back, Jack to Jack, but, well, talking about it, it's a Jack by Curly Fries and sent to Klex at the bottom of the floor. Waffle Broth in the chat again saying, you're part of the 3 a.m. gang. Yeah, the 3 a.m. gang apparently growing stronger day by day. There's a handful of players there. Presumably from somewhere across the pond. And otherwise, it'd be really weird, wouldn't it? But yeah, joining in on these casts lately or on these streams and staying up until the wee hours of the night. Now that said, a grab here from Widow. And Deku as well having it, but no, it'll be taken back by Dark Arrow. Dark Arrow losing it out to Klex here, so some more of those 50-50s, the hot potato play in the mid lane. But there's the speed again, but we talked about the overshoots, right? And everyone there overshooting it, so kind of nullifying itself. And will be Deku with a disc. So the speed eventually resulting in a save from, guess what? It's Gray. And it's great from Gazelle. And Gazelle again. This is what I'm saying, Those are the things that you carry with you from the stream and making the name known. Big scorers or big defenders when you're shouting out their name in excitement. I mean, that's one of the funnest parts of the cast, just seeing all these players that I didn't know prior, newer to Echo Arena in some cases. All of a sudden, you're just thinking, where did they come from? Because, man, they play well. Over here, though, Jack getting stolen from, and another from Gray Gazelle. Oh, my goodness. Almost giving them a problem there on the self-goal. Will be taken back by Prometheus. Gazelle, though, has just become a monster on the defense now, right on cue. That said, another stack quickly and not overshot, more importantly, from Gold Diggers. We'll get the disc back here to Curly Fries and Klex. That said, will be taken here by Deku, but Deku getting decked and trying to get the disc right back over Dark Arrow. Now, as it does careen towards Curly Fries' way, Curly just sends it into the bubble. Now, of course, we have Gray Gazelle in the goal, just waiting and trying to hope for the teammates to get back in time and kind of help take a little bit of pressure off. But that said, let's see, one-on-one, but no, a stun, actually. Good dive out there. Coming in from Widow Girl. Definitely a Widow Maker with the haymakers. But now the shot taker, it's Deku. Shot maker. Make that a 2 for Gold Diggers. Starting off after a few minutes, finally with a goal here in round 2. See Risen in there saying, sup, Pally? Shout out from North AZ. What's up? Yeah, Risen stopping by after a very nice showing on the stream earlier on, putting up, 16 points, I think, in a winning effort. It was very fun to watch. And of course, shouting out AZ, Arizona. Well, that's me. That's where I'm from. Sometimes, regrettably, it's very, very hot. But you know what? This game is also pretty hot, and I like watching those, so all worth it. Klex here with a clear through the tunnel. Now it's going to be backed into the deep end. There's Gazelle, but needs to be careful with that stack approaching, and does manage to squeeze it over to Widow Girl. Widow looking for a hurl up into the cloud, maybe going for a boot shot potentially, the bounce shot off that ceiling. And now he's stealing. So Widow through the window and back again, closes it for the first 2 points. Nice job from Misfits, tying it up here in round 2. See, amazing ding in there with some questionable comments, but shout out to you nonetheless. Thanks for stopping by on the stream. As a main start or something happening, I don't know. I could only assume. Otherwise, this is terrible defense right now from Gold Diggers. This is the worst defense I think I've ever seen. That goal is wide open. It's been wide open for a long time. Really taking their time, being patient here to line up their shots for Misfits. Oh, a deep clear though, backing it out. So I guess patient gameplay from Misfits as we still work out what's happening at the moment. Okay, well, let's see. I got some pings somewhere along the line, so I'm trying to check that real quick. So give me a second. Pardon the awkward-ish silence. All right. So let's see. We'll try and figure out what's happening here. I'm going to ping the teams real quick. Ideally, don't want to be too delayed. Again, not a problem, from the rules end of things. If they need to switch out players or servers, that's okay. Just more so the factor that I know we wouldn't be able to wait 15 minutes for a ping sub is a thing. But like I said, by the rules, completely within their rights. If there's ping issues and things like that, they can definitely address it. So just try and find out what's going on. All right, sorry for that awkward silence. I really hate that when I have to not talk to the stream. Makes me feel all kinds of uncomfortable. But nonetheless, letting the just teams know, trying to communicate and chat a little bit about what they need to do. So it seems like there's a connection issue, ping issue, something like that. So if that is the case, don't necessarily need mod intervention if the teams can, agree and recognize that, okay, yeah, one of our players is having issues, so we'll just need to get a sub, and then they can do that on their own. If it's the case where there's actual problems and teams don't want to or disagree over what the ruling should be, then mods can be contacted. But yes, so I mean we did have a player drop there for the side of Misfits, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Sounds like maybe they're trying to give a restart attempt. But yes, so okay, there you go. We got Jack G back, and we'll give it a moment to see. Hopefully the pings even out because it's been a good match. Is the thing. I don't want to have to ditch it by any stretch. So we shall see. But it's the double-edged sword. Sometimes that's the nature of online gaming, right? You're gonna have these things happen. So we just got to deal with it in the best ways that we can. At the moment, the ping's looking pretty good. I haven't seen it spike too significantly or anything, but that's just me at the moment. In any case, and yes, that's correct. They have not actually pressed restart yet, so that's going to be another task to actually figure out what the time and score was. You are very correct. On that note, actually, probably I imagine Subtlety can look at it. Just pull up a muted instant replay from your folder and look at what the time was in the last score, maybe. But at the moment, I've been kind of eyeing down this scoreboard so far at my end. I have not seen any other ping spikes as of yet. Mostly under 100. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. All right. So resetting now, and I guess now a matter of just figuring out what the times were, and the score. And I think so much for Subtlety is looking like he's taking care of that. So, thank you. And yeah, so we're gonna continue on here and get ready for the remainder of this game. So, Mr. Cuckoohead saying I thought it was 4 minutes or something like that. Looks like on the last score it was, well, they're putting up 6:30 on the clock, so I'm not sure how correct that is or isn't, but that's what we've got on the board at the moment. And we'll see how that goes. But we'll take the time on that note to thank our mod team for also helping out there. Gilligan, who also has a match imminently, actually stepping in to communicate a bit with the teams there. So always appreciate our mods. Wit, Nada, Sneaky Evil, Princess Alakost, Gilligan, and Echo Zero, as well as Daniel McFabulous. All of them just doing great work and being on top of things. Good stuff. So, all right, 5 minutes, 30 seconds was the determined timing. And we're going to get continued here on this game. So let's go. Round 2 after that intermission. Thanks for the patience. Also, hi, D. Tablin. Welcome to the stream. And Theo Skydiver, I'm thanking you for something. Yeah. Hi, thank you. What'd you do? But nonetheless, all right. So we'll be taken out here, cleared through, and taken back by Collects. And Ding saying, "Sound, please." Did we accidentally mute or something? If so, we'll take care of that in a moment. Sorry about that. As we get now a shot attempt, maybe, but Gazelle's going to be there. I mean, it would have bounced in. You see those sidewalls being used. Sound spotted. Good stuff. Now over here to Prometheus. Prometheus trying for a clear, bouncing it actually, maybe on a pass attempt instead. So teams getting ever the clever with their passing plays. Now it will be off the backboard there, taken by Prometheus. And Prometheus now also going to send it to the side. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in this tied up game, round 2 so far. So we'll see how this one pans out. I mean, as we've seen over and over again, Gold Diggers have been really, really strong on the stacks and getting with some quickness up and down the floor. Of course, for Misfits, they've been very, very good on the defensive end and been causing some trouble, especially that person right in there, Great Gazelle. You see that missed shot there being had, but why? Because when you're an offensive player and you've had a shot saved time and time again by a good goalkeeper, it does make you think, you know, extra. As a nice snag out there from Curly Fries. A little bit dangerous, but got the disc back. But yeah, when you're driving in on good goalkeepers, it does make you think as an offensive player sometimes, you know, man, I really have to paint this corner. I have to go for, you know, right at the feet, or right at the head, or just one of these out of reach spaces. And so then it creates a situation where you're thinking maybe a little bit too much or a little bit too nervous in the energy, and then boom, you end up dinging it. So not an uncommon thing at all when it comes to going against goalies like that. The Tablin saying you're in heaven having boba while drinking, or having boba while drinking VRML. Well, you're drinking boba while watching VRML. I'm kind of jealous. I am. But you know what? Dark Arrow, he's gonna go for the 2-point goal. That's a 2-point lead, in fact, now going the way of Misfits. So pulling ahead with a few minutes.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, so up to the joust, and do we got another restart? Because if so, I'm gonna cry a little bit, just a little bit, as we'll be taken out by Misfits, just a little bit. Now, correct me if I'm wrong though. Like when was the first restart? See, that's the issue. As a spectator, I actually don't know for sure who called the first time out, so I couldn't even tell you if. I assume it was Gold Diggers, since they were the ones with the issue there, but couldn't actually say for sure. Stream doesn't tell me things. Maybe one day, though. Now, excuse me, too, again, for the brief silence, as I am trying to communicate again with multiple people, and as I'm almost known and acclaimed for at this point, I'm very, very bad at juggling combos while also typing in Discord, so I hate leaving dead air. But at the same time, sometimes I have no choice. That said, because of these tech issues now and multiple drops, I'm feeling we may have to end up skipping ahead to the next match at this point, as we did already start late, and now with tech issues kind of dragging down the round, plus a couple tech restarts, which may or may not have been legal, it might not be ideal here. Interlock Studios saying, I'm new to VRML. Does this happen often? No, not too often. I mean, will you have timeouts thrown, you know, over the course of the game? Yes. As far as really extended stoppages, no, not too common. There are 170 plus teams, well, and you're drinking boba especially with the newer teams and quest teams and stuff. You know, there's I'm kind of jealous. Occasional extra process added. But you know what? Dark Arrow into the mix, and you know, it's going to happen. VRML. Well,
Yeah,
do
drinking
tech
boba
timeouts
while
happen
watching
regularly?
VRML.
Yeah. Do they happen with length? Not really. Usually just a few minutes here and there. But yes, I think because of the issues we're having right now, probably going to have to redirect here, just because it looks like the Misfits may have to end up getting a sub, which again can take potentially up the next 15 minutes or so. So with that said, I really hate when I have to make that judgment call, but I'm making the judgment call. We must go to Kango and Wireless Jacks next game. So stay tuned for this. Apologies to the viewers and to the teams here for the issues and the delays and things like that. I can direct the sadness to my inbox. I know I'm right there with you. But anyways, we'll be right back. Oh, hello everybody. Welcome back. So I told you it wouldn't be too long. We're gonna get started here. Restarted here with a new match, a new day, and between two teams who will amaze, no, without a doubt. I'm still, again, for those who joined us in the last stream and we had to cut that one off early just due to some tech problems, my apologies. Like I said, I really don't like having to let off games, but because of some persistent connection issues from one of the players, maybe two of them, they were having to kind of settle that out. So due to that unpredictability, we had to skip ahead. You know, show must go on. So I'm kind of sorry to say because it was a pretty great match we were watching. It was super entertaining. But that said, we're going to divert here to this match between two master tier teams right up there at the top. I mean, again, so many teams in this league, and you're going to be witnessing a couple of the best. Of course, the Kangarillas over here on the blue side, longtime players, longtime team for that matter. They first formed back in 2017 when the game was still 3v3, totally different meta, totally different time and environment. But yeah, they first formed back then. It was Stealable Bag and Loveridge, still existing now in Kangarillas as part of that roster. Of course, at the time they had Grumpiest Broom, who's now known as Grump, playing on Frostbite. But you know, one of they were the original three, and then a one-season hiatus there for Kangarillas, kind of split apart for a while, but then decided, you know what, we liked being together even better, and they came back. Sealable Bag grabs Strembitsky, grabbed Mad when it went to 4v4, and Kangarillas right there at the very, very tip top, and I mean the tip top of Echo Arena. Every season that they've been together, you know, one of the top couple teams basically of their region, of the world perhaps, and making it to multiple finals and what have you. And So for those of us or those of you joining in here, because I know there were a few on the stream who maybe aren't super familiar with Echo or super familiar with VRML, you're about to get familiar with what it looks like at the top level, for sure. Now, for the wireless jacks here on the orange side. So again, they're here in Master Division this season. A lot less history as a team compared to Kangarillas, but do not mistake that for any sort of weakness because Wireless Jacks, first of all these players well introduced to each other. They're all longtime friends, players in multiple community leagues, and they first came into VRML as a team back in November. We're together a little bit before that, scrimming and preparing for the season. But point is, unlike Kangarillas, who were already well established going into VRML, Wireless Jacks not the same case, and yet they started off already pretty strong there, competing in preseason 1 around that silver area, kind of right there in the middle. But their climb up the ladder has been no mistake throughout the course of season 1, especially. It was just a continual rise every single week, just slowly climbing up those ranks, going from silver to gold, and then pressing on master tier, and then pressing on all of these teams here in the postseason of season 1, the finals and the playoffs races and things like that. I mean, they are a team just like Kang. Both of these teams really famed for some incredible team chemistry, fantastic passing plays, control, speed, you name it. Every aspect of Echo Arena, these teams nail it. And therefore, and pending the arrival of one more player here, this is going to be a fun match. Rest assured. You can see a lot of people in the chat still, again, interacting throughout the day. Appreciate you guys very, very much. Princess in there as well, helping taking care of business. Princess with the business, as always. So on top of it. Basically, I've said it before, but I mean, Princess almost people would call me insane for how much I casted before, right? How many games? Princess is basically the moderator equivalent in insanity, I feel like. And I say that with love, but I also say that with truth. Always so responsive on the pings. And yeah, that's why I shout out our mod team, though, all the time. And not just Princess, of course. I mean, all our mods contributing, constantly to the smoothness of the league and to the daily efforts and questions and things that come out from players and whatnot. So, shout out for that. I see Wheels in the chat. I see Jack Gecko VR as well stopping by. Steel Sky saying Strembitsky is too busy being a god at Valorant to play right now. Kidding, of course. Then again, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Yes, Ender Chicken as well stopping by in there. Again, apologies for the last stream, alas. But appreciate you guys just the same. And, oh, look at that. Pam Wow also following us here. So Pam Wow, gotta give a shout out because one of our new casters here. Not going to give him too much junk for just following just now, but I will point it out at least once. That's okay. Princess did the same thing. Princess followed us on the stream yesterday for the first time. That's okay. It took me a while to actually follow the second and third channels as well. It's easy to get lost in the mix. You follow one channel and think that you followed them all, and the next thing you know, Pally's calling you out on stream. Shocked because you followed so late. But yes, all jokes, of course. Love you guys. Never doubt that. But that said, Pam Wow is also, again, our new caster, one of our new casters. We already heard from one of them earlier, Adam R. Fly. He had his casting debut just a couple hours ago, and it went very well. It was entertaining to watch, for sure. And yeah, just did a very good job. Now, for Pam Wow, maybe we'll see him later tonight. Who knows? The offer is there on the board already. But over from that, the OCE region, new to VRML this season. And, full credit, again, to just that community over in that region for being able to, muster together those teams, because even though we were super sad about it, we had to kind of make the ping rulings and split up the regions a little bit for the betterment of the competitive integrity and whatnot. It was a tough decision, but a decision that had to be made. But full credit to them and their region. They were able to get together 6 teams. We told them if they got 6 teams together, we would be happy, more than happy, to include them in the season on the website and get casted and all that good stuff. And they made it happen. I know Cam Jam was a part of that as well. But credit to a lot of players over there, so able to put that together. They've done their own community tournaments over the weeks and months. And Pamwow, one of the community casters on that note for them. So very, very nice just to see the continued growth of the region and to include them here in VRML this season so that they can join in on the fun too. For everyone who has considered joining in on the fun or likes what they see here on stream and in the game, go download Echo VR. I'm sure the majority of you in here have, but if you haven't, it's free on Oculus Quest, as well as Oculus Rift and Rift S. And the league itself, just the same, conducive to everyone of every skill level and style. But right now, the skill level and the style about to get started off hot, I do believe, as we get underway with Wireless Jacks and Kang Gorillas. So here we go. At first joust, in and out of the way, back to the midfield it goes. Maybe a little bit of a slower start out here as the teams do collect themselves, but, been hanging around for the last 15 minutes, or probably 30 minutes more like. So I'm sure there's going to be a slight warm-up process as they get involved with it. Kangaroos, that's actually been an ongoing story with them. The thing is, they've had a lot of success, again, as a team, a phenomenal team, but they do get off to these slow starts from time to time, where they see their effectiveness not really step it up until later in the rounds or towards that second round, which is why they found themselves at times in these reverse sweep situations where they really do have to come back from behind and then close it out in rounds 2 and 3. That said, closing them out, it's will.i.am with a great grab. So will.i.am, one of the better, if not best goalies. I hesitate to make definitive statements because there's so many great ones. Mad is another phenomenal goalie. That said, no goalie in the spot. Gilligan, the first 2-point shot. But yeah, there's so many high-level players here. will.i.am has had some of the most clutch, insane saves I've ever seen in some of these games. That said, so has Mad. For those who may have seen that highlight video of the Season 1 finals, we're talking in the most clutch possible situations, period, we have seen Mad provide on the defensive end with some insanity. So that's why I love casting these teams, both of them. Sealable bag now, the very hot pass, flying by, but getting stunned out now and losing the disc here. Sealable bag trying to contest Will, but Will dies out of the goal and slaps it back to Mad's hands, however, on the intercept. Mad does not have much time to work with, so gets it over to Sealable bag. Sealable here from the side in the stride, but again, a nice dive. And that is just perfect. Again, perfect offense, but perfect defense, honestly. At least very close to it. Both teams, those were some great passing plays, but even better dives in the defense. Grabs again. There's Gilligan resetting. Wireless Jacks looking good to start here. Inside that bubble. And as it goes into the wedge, you can see Seal and Shrem taking backline and now moving it to the front. And just spacing out, as Kang is definitely well known for. Now, as I talk about space outs, on the bottom of the floor, it looks like Loveridge may indeed have spaced out. Perhaps as a nice, happy pass going right from Strem to Mad. And that'll be 2-point tie-up, but it looks like a tech timeout, perhaps, unless they can get Loveridge. See, I really should just not talk. Someone asked me before the stream started, does this happen often, etc., etc. Well, you know what? I cursed it because now we got another crash out here coming the way of Loveridge. Feels bad, man. I should just not talk anymore. Need to sit here and tell stories, but not make any definitive statements because Lady Karma somehow proves me wrong every time. What did I do to deserve it? I'm not quite sure. But that's all right. We got ourselves a timeout. And you know what? Kang, to their credit, they still scored despite it. So numbers or not, they found the shot. In the meantime, there, see the Twitch chat again. I see Hecken stopping in now, as well as Lynx. And I got Boozy again. We got Mrs. Will. I am. Will she is? Will he is? Will I stop? That is the question. Yes, I will. Lulls are the best. The curse is back. Oh no. Ah, that's right. Lulz. Lulz are the best. The guy that I use as my scapegoat for the tech issues in season 1. He'd arrive, and then suddenly when we were about to start, there'd be delays. And it was definitely his fault. But yes, see Soisy in there as well saying, hey, yo,
Blue team
this should
ready.
be fun. I agree. I agree.
Team ready. Round starting in
And FMJ also in the chat saying they cut their same cut 3 times in a row.
10,
Finally worked.
9, 8,
Yeah, well, you know,
6,
it's the playbook of King and all these teams, really, the fundamental cross-cutting pass. That said, yeah, maybe a little bit stiff starting out. As I mentioned, you know, King can be sometimes, but as we do get leverage back in the game, we'll see how they vary it up. Definitely, Kangaroos have a lot of different tricks up their offensive book. A lot of it is predicated on those cross passes, of course, but you know, on the generalized basis, it applies to every team pretty much at this level, where you really do need those passes if you want to have a consistently successful offense a lot of the time. That said, a nice dime over to Mad. Mad being stunned, though, nowhere to go. So diving out, it's Blitz. Now, Blitz kind of mishandling the disc here, so Leverage is actually going to be able to get it right back, sling it immediately over to the barrier, and eventually into the wall where Mad retains it off that side panel. But Gilligan, a player known for the stuns, is going to be able to recover the disc there. And in the meantime, Caster's Curse maybe continues? I don't know. Saw one of the players stalled out in the back, but they're back, and you know what? We're back as well. So there goes the Jacks. The wireless ones, that is, as Gilligan takes a disc and goes for a bottom lane clear, bouncing to and fro back to Strem's mitts. So right back to Leverage here. The open shot, gonna be missed, but the rebound slap is very, very good from Sealable Bag. Not quite as ferocious as, you know, the Sealable Slam, the dunk that he's known for. In fact, on that note, I should probably add that to the pre-show stuff. But Sealable Bag, the nice touch, just the same, and it's worth 2 points, all the same. They have a 2-point lead. There's 5.5 minutes remaining in this first round. And I think both these teams kind of in a situation where they're just looking for their rhythm, you know, because of the late start and the timeout, it does tend to freeze people out, but you know what? Nothing frozen. That's just a blazingly hot shot. Sealable Bag. Sealable back-to-back. Back-to-back right for the 7th point. There's 5 minutes left, and I think now maybe Kangaroo is starting to feel their groove, which is a really good thing for them if they can get this first round win. You know, won't have to worry about the whole warm-up process that they need to go through sometimes. Wireless Jacks, that said, trying to launch, but another turnover. This time it's Strembitsky, but oh, it goes the opposite way, and that is unfortunate turn of events as it does float off. But looking at the stun, the stack, you can see wasting no time with Sealable. A fortunate bounce, getting right back now to Strem. Strem up high to Sealable Bag, but Sealable not able to corral it, so just slaps it gently back to Mad. And now gently down the stream, as we get this game continuing on the stream. And up from the top of the backboard, nothing gentle, just mental. Mental game, that is, realizing they had the nice avenue, and they found the appropriate receiver for the pass. And that was Strem, puts it in, no problem.
5, 4, 3, 2,
All right, so on the launch out, Wireless Jacks finding themselves down and hopefully not out, but another intercept here, another turnover, that is. So Wireless Jacks kind of uncharacteristically just not able to get it out on this side of the floor. Wireless Jacks are a team well known for their great joust maneuvers, but that said, just maneuvering right through and almost rolling into the goal. Strembitsky the rebound, but couldn't find anything there either. Now that's gonna hit up the top of the cloud area. Mad taking that back to the opposite cloud on the pass. And now the disc getting lost again, so Strem facing some issues. Boy, did I Caster's Curse this entire night or what? So sorry. Into the top lane. It's going to be taken back by King, it looks like. Leverage collecting the disc. And now right back up to the cloud again. So I think it's, you know, King, they still have the momentum. They have the lead. Despite these really unusual interactions happening all in a row together today. They should still be fine if they just play, you know, their pace. Which is to say, they're not likely to be forcing too much here in the next 3 minutes. I mean, they have a 7-point lead, And at the moment now, they just have a one-on-one in the goal, but taking it out, will.i.am. Now, normally you say, for an offense, you love it when you can get one-on-one goalies. The only thing better is basically an open goal, right? But you can't expect that a lot of the time. What we can expect is a mighty fine shot from Gilligan. That was fantastic. Full credit to Will on that defense and Gil on the offense. Together, it makes sense. And right now, they've made up some of that gap. They're down only by 4 on that great play. But going back to what I was saying, you know, a lot of the time, you can't expect a ton of open goal opportunities. So really, when you're on offense, the best thing you can ask for normally is just, hey, maybe a one-on-one on the goalie, and that's fine. High percentage, whatever. Against some of these goalies at the top level, not the case. We saw it just there. Might see it again here. We'll see. Another attempt, though, and it's going to be Gilligan losing it out, but taking it back again and into the tunnel on the clear. So immediately on the boost, there's less than 2 minutes left, but with a 3-point hit here, this could be huge. Oh, but the stun. And the rest of the defense now collecting there for Kangarillas, but getting it back now again. So defense off balance. A Venom there. Oh, has a 3-point lane. That was a very daring dive. Surprised they went for it. Nonetheless, they're going to score it. And just immense on this blitz. Speaking of blitz with the assist, but holy smokes. The shots and the dives. And just like that, I thought Kangarillas were well in position. Knowing them and how slow they can play it out there in the midfield, I didn't expect there to be even you know, that much time or a chance there for Wireless to come back, because you know, Kang usually so very good once they have multiple goals lead to just really stall it out. But that said, Wireless Jacks is just so fast getting back that they've been able to, you know, stifle them at the goal and then kind of bother them at the midline. Another issue there for Strem again. Did someone move his wall or something? And I don't know what's happening there, but nonetheless, Sealable Bag gets it back. So indeed, some things going on. Not the most ideal situation, because at the moment, a 3-point exclamation sent in from will.i.am. And he does just that. 1-point lead for Wireless Jacks, and I am borderline speechless. Now, I feel for Strem in a sense, because I know there were some controller things going on there. But man, oh man, Wireless Jacks, to make this happen, they still had to play some great defense, which they did on multiple occasions. They still had to make, you know, those crunch time shots, which they did. And one more grab from Blitz. It's going to do him in. And so round 1 going to Wireless Jacks.
Good round.
So not the start that Kang wanted or expected, especially with some of those missed grabs where the disc just kind of had a mind of its own. But indeed, Wireless Jacks, like I said, they still had to play on that. They still had to make those shots. They still had to get those saves. And they did just that. There were a lot of clutch plays and important boosts that occurred from the Jacks just to make that a reality. So with that said, the first round, Wireless Jacks showing exactly why they're here in the Master Tier and how they've stayed here, you know, for the last several months now, dating back towards the end of Season 1, where they're, you know, into the postseason, regardless of what the website said at the time. I know they worked their way into gold. They were playing right there, you know, at the master level or borderline at the very least, and they've done nothing but continue to improve to earn their spots near this top among all the teams coming into Echo Arena. Now that said, a maybe timeout, not quite sure, you know, just between the rounds. I think it was a rematch just to reset the time, so I'm not really sure if the teams are going to take a few minutes or not here. We'll have to see. But nonetheless, over to the Twitch. It's been quite spicy in there. A lot of stuff coming on, so sorry for probably missing a bunch of stuff. Then again, depending on what was said, some of it I might not be too sorry. Who knows? But glad to see you guys in here. Again, shout out Coney Gamer. Yeah, there you go. Talk about the 3 a.m. gang. Coney's one of them. Again, Lynx and Saluna, Waffle Broth, Steel, Skydiver, see Andy, W, Mrs. Will, got Ant Gas, FMJ, there's Grumpy, Grumpiest Broom, Soisy, Heckin TV, Rocktor, Rosie, Hope, Amazing Ding, Boozy, Sea Savages, Mr. Nate Bro, there's Cruisin', he's invested. And see Ender as well. And I think that covers it. Just about. Maybe. Mr. Cuckoo.
I'm loading Mumble. Taking it.
But all right. So you see, regardless of the reasons or the whys or the...
In or you can try.
I think Kangos sometimes are just destined to go to 3 rounds. Now, of course, that means they're going to have to actually win the second round as well. Not going to be an easy task. Not if you're playing the Wireless Jacks here. Feeling good about themselves at that, you know. But sometimes you just say it's meant to be. You know, it's kind of like when we get Kangorillas versus Jokers games, which I believe there is one this week, I think. So every time we get those games, I always point out how it's as if these two particular teams, Kang and Joker, are just destined to have classic matches forever because 9 out of 10 times they are so intense. It goes, you know, you have overtimes or overtime threats, you have game winners, you have round 3s. Obviously, they face each other in the finals. It's just one of those things, you know? Like when I was playing, Eclipse was known for what? Having fast jousts. If you're going against Eclipse, they're going to win the joust. And they're going to be borderline toxic. That's Eclipse, okay? So, just kidding, sort of. With Kangorillas, you expect round 3s. It's going to happen one way or the other. So, you know, we'll just have to hope that they're able to figure out their issues there and clean up here just to execute. Like we saw in those plays that they did succeed on in round 1, where they had a lot of those, again, nice cross passes, the patient plays, stuff like that. See Schlart in there as well. Stop it in. 5-spotted Dog also there with 100k channel points, actually. Jeez. 5-spotted, of course, contributing the Prime sub earlier, tier 1. We also had not so much for subtlety with the Prime. And of course, we had Doxfox with 8 gifted subs, so amazing stuff. On the support end of things, appreciate you guys once more for all that support earlier. That said, no more customer support. We're right back here into the game. Round 2 is underway. Happy to say, sealable bag with a disc in the back line. Now rolling in to the pack. The Wireless Jacks not even bothering to play up here. They just want to try and contest the bubble for the most part, and they will. They will indeed, successfully so. So more great defense in that bubble. They're really giving King problems on these. And the 3-point hit from Blitz. Oh, wow. Hitting it with some strength and power, and you know what? Full confidence at that. I mean, that was just an immediate release. Knowing the personnel that they're fighting against, you can't expect that goal to be open for very long. So you know what? He had full confidence in that lineup, and that was a great shot without a doubt. So starting off hot, it's going to be Jack's the first goal, but Kangorilla's right back here with the roll out. Now Loveridge passing it over to the top, the popcorn block, as I believe Strem called it. No, he called it something else silly. I think he called that one Pac-Man. That's right. Anyways, over there, it was Gilligan with a disc, but having it stunned, stolen, and delivered to the back line. There's a clear, there's a boost. Perfect, in fact, with the exception of Gilligan and Will.i.am there in the back line with the recovery and the stack back. Look at how quickly they get into their offensive scheme. I mean, immediately rolling out the floor. Now, that said, the missed delivery just a bit, so it gets the disc back to Strembitsky and co. They're going for that deep clear. They already have a couple boosted players running down the floor, flying down, and finding the first 2 really good shots. Nice and easy, thanks to just the recognition from Mad on the pass. You know, got the disc and easily does it. Fundamental plays. So there we go. 2 minutes in, 1 goal for each team. See Schlart saying, that's the king I know. Well, indeed. Mr. Nate Bro saying, why is chat so brutal? Now, see, I haven't been able to pay attention to it as much as normal, as is the case with these big matches sometimes. Going in for a nice attempt at the goal, but stolen out there by Matt on the defense. Don't get too crazy there in chat. You don't want to make me sad, do you?
Catches the enemy pass.
Do you? So be nice, be nice. Some unity in the community, please. And now Venom going to position out here while Blitz from the back line delivers it to the pack. Now Pac-Man pass. Will.i.am trying to find something going there to Blitz. Blitz up high will be skying for it. Loveridge here. Now looking for the pass and play there. Immediately the stack already from Strem and Matt are there. Unfortunate on the overshoot, however. It looks like it will be a slap back. And you can see Kangaroo is actually one of the teams, notably in recent weeks. They've been in positions where they've had to really go with that slap pass so often because teams are really starting to push forward on them and make things much more difficult than maybe they're used to at times. That said, more often than not, Kangos has still done a amazing job at being accurate with those type of passes too, which is, again, why I like watching these teams, because the execution is just they make things that are so difficult, they make them look so easy. And that's kind of pros at any level of any game or any sport, right? Watch some sports on TV and you think, oh, I would have made that. I can do that. But then if you're put there in the situation in real life and you figure out, nope, maybe not. On that delivery there, attempted. Mad just driving out in. Venom, though, is diving out for the stun. So the dive defense from Wireless Jax here, every time Tangos try to work it into the bubble, it seems like the moment that they do have that QB drag it into the orange zone, there's a Wireless Jax player there to meet them and to really pressure. So, yeah, the defense allowing them a lot of great opportunities. Now, that being said, despite the good defense, it is getting stuck an awful lot on the orange side of the floor. Wireless Jax unable to really get it clear on through too much the last couple minutes. But still, 5:44 remaining. Strembitsky with a disc, a turnover. Can he turn it into a shot? Absolutely will. Strembitsky, 18-meter shot per second shot, I should say, 28 meters out. So that's a very important hit from Kangos and from Strem. Of course, knowing Strem, that's exactly what you expect. You know, when Strem catches on fire, you know, certain players, when they catch on fire, they just go off. And Strem has been one of those players, you know. Once he's on, he's on. Sealable bag, he's on. They are all on, right down the middle for the goal. 8 points here for Kangarillas, having themselves quite the nice comeback these first 5 minutes of round 2. So very good start. However, this is also the position that Kangarillas found themselves in round 1, about halfway through, right? They had themselves a multiple goal lead. And then things happen. Jacks happen. Stacks happen. At the moment, though, Strem's happen for another goal. 10-3. Strembitsky now and Sealable Bag, both in this round, with 5 points apiece, splitting the difference there to get them 10. So looking good. All right, so jousting out here. Will.i.am up the bottom lane past the trench. Now they kind of clever train, but unfortunately maybe some misjudged bounces. Gets it back to Mad for King. Now back into Strembitsky, and Strembitsky does see the goal. Right from that outer edge, 6 meters deep it looks like, and 12-3. So Strem definitely no issues at the moment. He's feeling the groove. That is 7 points now for Strembitsky in round 2. Coney Gamer in the chat there, talking about what combat, Echo Combat. Yeah, Echo Combat, another great game, of course. I always said that if Echo Arena didn't exist, I'd be playing Combat all the time, but nonetheless, right on time. Leverage, they go up by another couple points. So now Leverage getting involved in the mix here to score for Kangarillas. And suffice to say, this is what I meant earlier. I mean, again, throw out all issues out the window. Just on a normal day, Kang gets stronger and stronger the more and more minutes go by. It's not atypical at all. At the moment, they are definitely in the right rhythm, because we're kind of seeing, again now, Wireless Jax not able to get it through too much on these offensive jousts. You know, a lot of these turnovers. I mean, there's another one right there. And that's what Kang does to people. You know, they start building that heat, and then they just start building up those snowballs as Mad and balled that up in his fist and punched it on through for the 16th point. So now every player on Kangarillas with at least one score in this round. And everyone now also getting some assists just about. So a big comeback here for Kang. Wireless Jax at this point with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left as another steal and shot goes through. Pouring it in is Sealable Bag. Wow. So to reiterate, for Wireless Jacks at this juncture, with this score and this time on the clock, it's pretty much just a matter of making some late game plays and execution. Not with the idea that you're going to win this round, but just with the idea that you want to see positive things occurring on the offensive end. You want to see it get to the side of the floor. So they're going to work it up with some nice passes, connecting on the first 3 or 4 of them. But unfortunately, that last one is going to go back to Loveridge. And as I am often to mention, you know, one missed pass will often result in a punish on the other end. That's just how tough it is competing at master level in a master league. So here it goes. It's Loveridge with that disc. Gonna hand it off to the shoulder, but Gilligan is there to meet it with a punch. That is definitely one thing that Wireless Jacks should be riding high on, if nothing else. I know you look at the scoreboard and you see 19 points, but they should be overall very, very happy with how they've handled Kangarillas on their set defenses for most of this game. You know, got out of hand in this round as Strembitsky puts another one in, 21 points now. But dating back to the round 1 and then even earlier in this round, there were still a lot of great dives from the Wireless Jacks. So every time Kang would bring it to the bubble, you know, there were players waiting for the brawl to contest it and just to make life difficult. So, you know, that's how you play bubble defense effectively, or at least one of the ways. There's a lot of ways. But nonetheless, yeah, it's exactly what you need to do. Now that said, going right back to the hands of Kangarillas with no hesitation was Seal, missing that shot, but well positioned is Strembitsky with another grab and trying to dish that over to the side. Maybe a little too casual on the fling, so it's going to go eventually to Mad, but had to work harder for it than maybe he would have liked. Strembitsky taking this one away. Less than 30 seconds left in round 2. And Kango's set to take this one away, but not before Blitz at least gets one more hand on it. Now as Loveridge works it up to Mad, Mad will have the open goal and a mercy at that as the time does wind down. So that is a very, very tough turnaround, mentally speaking, for any team. You know, to come out ahead with a win and then just not have anything go your way the same way in this next round. So I think for Wireless Jacks, though, we already saw what they can produce when they're on. And yeah, it'll just be a matter of taking this next minute to really just let it out and then get back to you know, the grindstone, as no one calls it, for the third round. So I'll let you guys take a quick look at the stats. I'm gonna take myself a quick drink. That was an awful lot of talking. Not complaining though, because a lot of good plays, and happy to see it go to a third round. So BRB. And I'm back. Did you miss me? All right, so round 3, we're going to go in real soon. You can see the big efforts, though. Everyone on Kango's again, putting on points, putting on assists, and just a little bit of everything. For the Wireless Jacks, struggling to score too much there in that last round and really find, you know, the typical Wireless Jacks style offense that you're used to. The defense, it was there, but it was just, you know, the multiple attempts given to Kang and those turnovers on those offensive jousts that just did them in. So the Jacks defense, they can still be happy about it overall, but definitely want to figure out a way to just break through this tough wall of Kangos, especially on those jousts. So Strembitsky here, start of the third round, going to be taken now to Mad. Mad, the open 3. And that is a very tough one to give up there off the first joust, especially. 3 points now right on the board again. I mean, 21 seconds in.
7, 6,
And see how they respond here for the orange side. Now, Will passing it off to Gilligan. Gilligan over to Venom. Now, Venom may pass over there. So, again, a lot of nicely strung passes in a row, but the headbutt save coming through, of course. That fantastic goalkeeping skill we always see there. Trying to go for that 3-point play on a stunned goalie, but not going to work against the likes of Mad. But that said, it's not going to be a score either. So they're going to have to take another attempt here going in, and the shot is good. Man doing it all. Butting it out and sending it in. 5 points there for the Kangarillas.
10, 9, 8,
But yeah, see, like even the offense on the other side there, taking it A 3-point shot on the goalie. Not an unusual strategy. Granted, you see that plenty of teams do incorporate that stuff, but not necessarily Wireless Jacks. You don't see them doing that all the time. Normally, it's a lot of the same things that Kangarillas does on offense. That's where Wireless Jacks really thrive, is when they can really make those nice cross passes, you know, forward, back, side, wherever. When they can get those passes to cutters and or to the backboard and then back to the front. I mean, those are the bread and butter plays that buy them so many great wins. Now, that said, there is one of them right there, maybe. Gilligan taking the disc from the shoulder to the backboard, but just mishandled there. So a nice delivery, but I couldn't wrangle the disc, unfortunately. Now, Blitz with the disc is going to roll it back here to the bow tie. Be lightly contested by Strembitsky. Strem trying not to get caught out, though, and will be just dished back and forth. Two-man game being shown. Blitz going to take it in, but Seal taking it out. So nice defense from Seal, of course, another phenomenal goalie historically, but you know what? Gilligan showing Seal some Seal, which is to say getting the dunk from the top corner. And that is exactly what Wireless Jacks needed to do to get something going. You know, find, again, those cross passes or those plays to the backboard. You know, get those consistent high percentage goals if they can. Tough order of things, but they did it right there. See a amazing ding in the chat saying that was pretty cool. Sure was. This game is pretty cool right now. Wireless Jacks starting to feel maybe a little bit cooler than before. Getting it together, getting another turnover. So here we go. They can score again. That is a very positive thing at this juncture because, like I said, King, they get hotter over time, over the course of the game. So if Wireless Jacks can actually, you know, answer with some back-to-back goals and just keep it close as we get later into this, that's actually very, very good news for them. You know, right now we're about 4.5 minutes in and only 2 goals for Kangarillas. Now that said, that can change on a dime here. Driving it in is Mad. Mad taking the shot, and you see how well timed the defense was, right? On one side of the bubble, I think it was Blitz covering off Sealable on that pass, so Mad didn't have anywhere to go. And then by the time Mad was floating into the bubble himself, there was another player there on defense from Jacks able to cut it off. That is the great defense that I'm talking about when I'm saying, you know, Wireless Jacks' defense has stepped up. They do it again there. You see the pass went towards the bubble. There was someone there to cut it off. Now, it's not easy. The timing and teamwork and the rotations needed to maintain a defense like that for a sustained amount of time is actually pretty ridiculous. That said, that is a ridiculously good play from Loveridge and Strembitsky. Crossing it over once and twice and then putting it home. That is 7 points here for Kangarillas. But I mean, you see how hard they had to work for that. It's not as if the execution there from Kangarillas was any type of easy. They had to make multiple attempts. They had to work up through some very tough defense. So that's exactly what Wireless Jacks needed to do. They're going to go for the goal, but have it stolen out instead. A good grab being had there from Strem that time, I believe it was. But another attempt coming in for Jacks. So Gilligan sailing and mailing right into the goal. It's a 3-point game again, showing Kangos that they can do exactly that as well. That was nearly a mirror image of what we saw on the other side of the floor, wasn't it? Like I said, that's why I like these teams. Why I like these master level games, because it is a master class in execution. Especially the longer you get into these games, once these teams are fully warmed up and feeling good. I mean, it's like clockwork. It's so fun to watch. The moment though, watching the goal, it's Sealable bag and watch him go. 9 points to 4. Kangarillas answering back again. That time with just a straight up 1-on-2 essentially.
7, 6, 5, 4.
So look at that, just using the athletics, a little bit of a duck. And then took it in on the goalkeeper, which is not an easy thing. Now, over here to the beautiful rollout. Gilligan being hit perfectly in the stride. A perfectly placed pass down to Venom, right back to Gilligan. Working around, but the shot not going. Ooh, I'm disappointed because that would have been such a sick highlight. But nonetheless, that was almost beautifully executed. That said, trying to execute them and punish. It's Steel. The shot. And as I said, I mean, one little mistake at the top level of play, and you are oftentimes punished, and we see it there. It's very, very tough to deal with because on one end you could have had looked like I think 3-pointer, maybe a long 2. But then having it just turn into a shot instead for Kango's on the other side when it, was a close game, and now it looks a little bit less close than it once was. The difference maker, just a couple of points make mentally, it can be huge when you look at the scoreboard and what it looks like right now. So that said, into the mid lane it goes. 3 minutes left. Wireless Jacks do need to start acting, but don't have to be too panicked or anything. They still have some time. Of course, the danger is for Kangarillas, or against Kangarillas, once the disc goes back to them. You can imagine with under 3 left, barring breakaway goals like this, so hold on, we're going to start seeing some strong but patient play from Kangos, doing just that. Could have taken the 2, but of course the comms coming through and realizing that they had all the time in the world to line that up. And that is, I would almost say ice. We still have 2.5 minutes, of course. It's not impossible, but just those little extra things that most teams don't think of doing. Or if they do it, it's because not because it was kind of a planned, patient thing. It's just because, they rushed it. Kangaroo is not the case. They knew they had a lot of time to spare, so it wasn't just a case of being bold for the sake of it. They were well aware of the clock situation. They're well aware of the score situation. They're well aware of where the defense was in that situation. And now, because of that, Wireless Jacks are kind of in this mode where they do have to start taking some really fast plays. And it's a good one there to the backboard. More of that bread and butter. But still, less than 2 minutes remaining here.
11, 10, 9.
And it's an 8-point match. And Kangarillas are very likely to start stalling here pretty heavily unless they get some fast break plays. So let's see. And with that disc breaking way fast is the Wireless Jacks on those stacks. Very nice redirects. You can see how just good they are with maintaining their grabs and not losing each other. And that said, though, letting it loose. Strembitsky, I told you, if he gets hot, he just scores in spurts. And Strembitsky, another open 3. And I don't think he's missed any of his open 3s or open shots there since the second round. I mean, just been firing off. He's currently leading the way in points. So having a very, very strong effort here to close off this game. 17-6. It looks like Kang indeed is in position to take this out. Wireless Jacks just trying to get back on the defense at this point. Or maybe score one more time on the Kango's defense, that is to say. But 40 seconds left. will.i.am crossing it over. Will to Gil, but Gil having it snagged. And good slap. Actually going right back into the goal there. Will be 8 points on the board for Jax. But yeah, the time at this point, it is gone. And with that said, Wireless Jax still an excellent showing for sure. But Kangarillas, the closers, as they often are. So with that said, still good to see these go to 3 rounds, and as always, looking forward to the next streams from these teams throughout the week, maybe even in venues, who knows. Loveridge, one more attempt, has it snagged by Blitz, and then Venom going for a clear. So that will conclude the round and the series in the third. Wireless Jacks taking that first, then Kang the reverse sweeps, as I've said a few times throughout the season and last season already. It tends to happen, but they just keep building and building, and by the end, they finish strong. Hence these big scoring totals in rounds 2 and 3. So you can see there, Strembitsky and Seal equal on the point total, 17 apiece. You also have foreseeable bag 3 assists, 3 saves, 1 steal, 33 stuns. A lot of 3s on that stat line, and a lot of 3s on the score line for him. Strem, same thing though, 17 points, 6 assists, 3 saves, 1 steal, 27 stuns. So a lot of assists from Strem to match all the points and just getting everyone on the team involved. Mad contributing a dozen on the point total, as well as 3 assists and 2 saves and 27 stuns. Then for Loveridge, it was 4 points, 4 assists, and 21 stuns. So everyone really putting in some heavy stats in a few different categories here. And yeah, Too Old to Game said, yeah, great watch. Joined late, still amazing, absolutely. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure watching these teams at this level. Wireless Jacks. Speaking of, they got still a lot of great things to hang their hats on. I mean, Will I Am there, 7 points, 1 assist, 4 saves, 2 steals, 11 stuns. Venom with 1 assist, 1 save, 38 stuns. Gilligan, 7 points, 1 assist, 3 steals, and 71 stuns. Nothing unusual, but nonetheless, you always got to point it out. Putting in efficient stats in multiple categories, but double, if not triple, everyone else in the stun department. Then for Blitz, 5 points, 2 assists, 2 saves, 1 steal, and 26 stuns. So also nice game from multiple Wireless Jacks players here in a bunch of different categories. So fun to watch, absolutely. King Gorillas, though, they're going to improve their record there. 9-2. Wireless Jacks, 7-5. Still very, very strong. And like I said, in Master where they belong. Happy to see it. See Seal also stopping in chat, saying, bruh, Strem's headset, game 1. Yeah, I saw a few things. But nonetheless, good game to all involved. That was fun. See Amazing Ding saying amazing. GG's from Mrs. Will and Saluna, FMJ, and Seal as well. Ah, yes. What? Sorry. Got taken off guard for a minute. I had Discord. I opened Discord out of minimize, and I was met with that gif of me dancing right in my face. That was fun. Little off guard there. Thanks, Zenith, by the way. Anyway, all right, so that's going to be the round. Well, that got me all off track. Let's see. The game, that is a save. Checking on the rest of the games tonight, seeing if we have anything else ahead. I didn't sign up for anything else, but doesn't mean I won't stream anymore. We'll see. Yes, maybe perhaps. I'm going to assign myself to a match or two soon. But we will be done at least for the next half hour-ish or so. So until then, I've been Palidore. This has been VRML. Over on the cameras, doing fantastic work as always. Is so much for subtlety. And also one more shout out to the Joust overlays there, the Joust stats being shown now in the neutral ones thanks to Ignite. So Franz and Co. Always big thanks for working on that. To our league mods, Wit, Nada, Sneaky Evil, Princess, Alacost, Gilligan, Echo Zero, and Daniel McFabulous. Thank you as always for being insane and in a very good way at the moderation end of things. Our sponsors, ProTube VR, VR Cover, Rebuff Reality, Fixed Gaming, and VRware. Shout out to them for the support. Always appreciative of that as well. And to everyone who engaged in the chat, who sent out follows, bits. I see 5 spotted actually half an hour ago. I missed your bits apparently, so I'm sorry for that, but thank you for it, as well as the sub earlier. The 8 subs gifted there from DocsFox TV. One more time, thank you so much for that. As well as Subtlety, again, for the Twitch Prime. And with that said, I think I covered all my shout-outs. So thank you guys very much, as ever, always. I will probably be back later tonight. Seal was saying I'm dedicating a Gopnik for Palidore tonight. Amazing. And we'll see. I'll have to do like a Renegade Gopnik mashup. Just kidding. That would be horrible. Anyway, all right, we're going to peace out here. So thanks, everyone. Be happy, be healthy, be safe, be good to each other. We'll see you again soon.